Hello, artists. Yesterday we talked about cave art and looked at the oldest documented visual art form of storytelling. So today we are going to look at a very modern form of storytelling, which is photography, vlogging, and blogging, and take a look at the artist Brandon Stanton. Brandon Stanton's quote is, "The great thing about New York is that if you sit in one place long enough, the whole world comes to you." The reason I picked this artist is because he is a combination of a journalist, a photographer, all different things, but he truly is a storyteller. So let's talk about something called the Humans of New York that was started 10 years ago by Brandon Stanton. So when we talk about the Humans of New York, this is a photo blog and a book that spent 31 weeks on the New York Times bestsellers, featuring street portraits and interviews collected on the streets of New York City. This was started over 10 years ago with the goal of photographing 10,000 New Yorkers. This movement has since grown and included life stories and anecdotes, photographs of people in nearly 20 countries, including Bangladesh, Iran, Iraq, and Pakistan. Stanton has interviewed everybody from President Obama to refugees and everyone all over the world. The photograph we're going to feature became viral about 5 years ago, and it was a young boy in Brooklyn that Brandon interviewed. And he says, "Who has influenced you most in your life?" This young child said, "My principal, Miss Lopez." "How has she influenced you?" His response was, "When we get in trouble, she doesn't suspend us. She calls us to her office and explains to us how society was built down around us. And she tells us that each time somebody falls out of school, a new jail cell gets built. And one time, she made every student stand up, one at a time, and told each kid that each of us matters." This quote, this photograph became so popular, and Mr. Stanton was so moved that over $1 million was fundraised for students in this school to go on a trip to Harvard and all different resources. The principal that was mentioned here, and this young child went to actually meet President Obama, and it just shows the power of one photograph, one story shared can change an entire community. This movement was also made into a photo and video series, and I wanted to share a timely quote, given that we're all in the quarantine, from President Obama during his Humans of New York interview. He says, "You don't do things alone. Nobody does things alone. Everybody always needs support. Just always remember to be open to help. Never think that you know everything, and always be ready to listen." Currently, Stanton is posting and sharing quarantine stories. So this is a very active, lively photography and videography movement that's still going on. And I encourage you to look it up and to share your own story. Again, the focus this week is on storytelling, and we all have something of value to share with the world. Talk to you tomorrow.